The information that came through, okay, is very important. And this has to do with quite a large group of individuals in the collective, in the healing community, the spiritual community. There are many, 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 many light workers, individuals who may be holding back from taking that leap of faith, from taking action on the thing that brings them joy in alignment with their creative expression. There is some fear associated to taking this leap of faith. And I've been shown that there are many, many thousands of light workers who are ready, who have been ready for a while. And the message that came through is that it is time to move forward in this direction and to leave fear behind. In my previous energy update, I spoke about a clearing for the masculine energy. So the masculine in both men and women. This is connected to this message, as all these energy updates, okay, overlap, dovetail off one another, and the theme, the messaging in the energy update can take a week, a month, 3 months. All energy updates dovetail off one another, overlap, and there is a message within a message in all these energy updates. So the masculine energy, there's a clearing. So due to the upgrades that are taking place, due to the clearing, the light flooding the earth plane, there is an energy available and accessible. It has been the last 2 weeks, and this is still taking place. It is assisting with the clearing of the distortion associated to what the divine masculine is, what is the divine expression, representation of the masculine energy within men and women. The masculine energy is direct. The light is direct. Darkness is indirect. The light is direct, standing in one's power, speaking one's truth with an open heart from the heart space. The protector energy, knowing that one is sovereign, one is protected, one is safe. With the obvious theme I always speak about of acting with an integrity. When one acts with an integrity, one is safe. And one can move forward with the masculine energy, the warrior archetype. The warrior archetype is necessary. If you look into the 4 masculine archetypes, the lover, the king, the warrior, and the magician, or the wizard. Magician and wizard, similar concept. The masculine energy is a very big theme right now. We have seen throughout the world a lot of individuals who are very well known being censored, okay? This is connected to the wounded masculine, the distortion, the misuse of the masculine energy, the abuse of power. This is masculine. There is a clearing taking place, has been and is taking place. There is an energy, there is light available, there are codes available that are assisting with this transmutation, with the activations, the upgrades that will allow for an acclimation into a higher vibrational state of being, where in essence, in this state, the lights turn on within the physical vessel, our DNA is activated, turns on, strengthening our connection with our higher self and guides, and the galactics, the beings of light, that will assist us with the clearing and also with the delivery of our creative expression. So we're seeing individuals being silenced. That's the wounded masculine. Okay, there's a clearing taking place. And when there's a clearing taking place, there's often chaos in the collective. There are flare-ups. okay, where individuals attack one another. This is the wounded masculine. In essence, the darkness would love for individuals, even if someone acts out of integrity, it doesn't matter. Their game is to get individuals to fight with one another. The wounded masculine energy. And the darkness works through individuals who perhaps have not healed themselves on a deep level, where there are still core wounds associated to trauma from the past. So it all has to do with healing. There's an energy available that is assisting with this, the light flooding the earth plane. You don't even need to wait for any light emission through our sun acting as a portal, through meditation, through self-love, that the individuals viewing this are very well aware of. Everyone has their own modalities that works for them. Through this process, through meditation, it is just a frequency that we tap into. You can undergo these activations, and you can, through conscious intention, call in your guides and the beings of light to assist you with this healing on an individual level. So within the spiritual community, this is also taking place, but in a different form. And the message that came through is that it is time. There are many individuals, thousands, who don't believe. So there's a limiting of belief associated to whether the individual will be successful in moving forward in their given direction. The masculine energy, direct, moving forward with confidence, pride, and power. Within the collective, individuals may fear that they may upset other individuals, okay, who have been doing this for a long time. The message coming through is that there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of light workers, healers, unique frequency expressions. There are many healers. There are many ascension guides. There are many grid workers. There are many gatekeepers. There are many divine blueprint holders. There are many light keepers. There are thousands and thousands, all unique. And individuals right now, what I'm being shown are holding back from starting their YouTube channel, are holding back from expressing themselves on any form of social media platform, from starting that project, from building their website, from putting their service offerings out there, because there is a belief that if someone else is doing it in their way, in their unique way, then that is it. But that is not the case. There is a need and a requirement for many individuals to speak their truth, to have a YouTube channel, or do their lives or videos, share their videos on Facebook, on Instagram, or whatever other platform. There are many energy updates that are needed. It does not make sense to have one individual providing an energy update. If this was the case, it's not the case. There are already lots of individuals doing this, okay? But there is a need for many individuals, okay? Because there is an idea, there is an energy waiting to flow through you with your unique frequency expression that has not yet been discovered yet. It has not been discovered yet because that is for you. And the universe is waiting for you to take the leap of faith and bring through that information, or bring through the creative expression so that others may benefit. There is a need for many. Each will take a slightly different form. Some information may be similar, which is fine. The information may be similar, but it is necessary for the group in which the individual is communicating to. There is a call for individuals now to stand up and to speak their truth and to leave the energy of fear behind. Knowing that in terms of the ascension of the collective and Gaia, what is best for the individual is best for all concerned. Another individual flowing freely with their creative expression is the best possible scenario for the next individual and for the next individual and for the next individual, for the entire world on a universal level. Knowing that from an awakened, aware state, all right, that if an individual is a friend or we don't know the individual, that individual doing well in what they do is the best possible scenario for me and for you. There are a multitude of perspectives that are necessary. The wounded masculine energy is associated to a dictatorship. If you go back in time and look at the dictators within governments, where one person speaks and that's the rule of law. Okay? That is a very outdated 3D paradigm. That is the distortion of what the divine masculine is. The divine masculine is a representation of love and freedom, of power, and also of assistance to the next individual and the next individual and the next individual. There is a need for multiple perspectives because during one's healing journey through their awakening and ascension process, which there is and is going to be a huge demand for individuals who require assistance moving forward, as it is the Great Awakening. Hence the chaos in the world, an indication of a shake-up and shift out of the old into the new. There is a huge demand. Many individuals will find resonance with a teachers during their lifetime. Okay, the reason for multiple perspective and expressions is that an individual is shifting all the time. There are changes going on in terms of their awakening and ascension and consciousness. So sometimes an individual will require certain teachings from an individual. Then in a week, a month, a year, we'll move on to something new. That individual has served and assisted with the shift in the individual, and now another teacher, another expression that is in resonance will resonate. And then another, and then another. Hence the requirement for the different perspectives and teachings coming through. There may be an energy update, or someone may come through with delivering a message from the Arcturians, the Andromedans. Someone may channel information from Jesus, Saint Germain. We all have the ability to tap into this consciousness and bring through the messages. As stated before, there are messages waiting on a universal level from your guides and higher self, whatever way that message takes form, in the form of coding, in a creative expression, can be vocally, can be through embodiment, it can be through artwork, poetry, singing, songwriting, can be through music, okay? It can be through technology. It comes in many ways, shapes, and forms. So there is a big pull for individuals to stand in their power now, knowing that it is safe and secure, and from a place of integrity, light, and love, no one or not anything outside the mirror can do anything to restrict or harm you. But it's not possible. Everyone and everything is a teacher, and everything is orchestrated and is aligning perfectly all the time, no matter what it looks like. If a very well-known person is censored on YouTube, okay, there's an indication, there's a message within that it is being censored because there was truth and is truth in that message. It doesn't mean we have to agree with what everyone else is doing. Not everyone is going to agree with everyone's expression. That is fine. That is also an awakened, aware state, knowing that everyone is doing the best that they can, no matter what it looks like. Some people may choose negativity in their lives, but in their reality experience, they are doing the best that they can. So everything in essence, from an awakened, higher, ascended state, that perspective is actually the light in disguise. Censorship on certain platforms is an opportunity for those light workers out there, individuals, to create new technology, a platform with light coding in it. Everything is an opportunity. Everything is in service. There are many teachers. In fact, everything is a teacher. And there is a need for the light workers to stand in their power and to speak their truth, knowing that if it upsets someone else, another individual, you are serving that individual. That other individual can go within and understand for themselves why they are getting upset. And they can make that adjustment within themselves by not doing anything, not acting on what you love. That is not being of service anymore. It is being of service within the delay in this process. So there is no rush, because the delay is also a process of inner understanding as to why and how it no longer serves to delay that process for too long. And with this understanding comes the delivery in divine timing. So that's the message for today. That's the energy update. That this is something that is happening within the collective right now. There's a lot of evidence of this out there. If you tune into what's taking place from what I've said, it may not be exactly the same, but if you tune into the energy of the wounded masculine in the mainstream media, what's happening on the news, the chaos, destruction in the world, it's all to do with an energy, and there's a clearing taking place, which is very powerful. That is the message. Let's see if there are any questions coming through now. Yeah, I have a few. There's a great question from Julie. Okay, so if you notice, she's saying that she's seeing that with political posts, so this can be anywhere with individuals who may call themselves spiritual or not spiritual. Doesn't matter. We're all spiritual. Every single individual on the earth plane is spiritual. The political posts, people attacking one another. So that's another example of that she's saying she doesn't let herself get involved with that energy. So that is the wounded masculine. That's the distortion. That is actually the trickery, like I've said, from the darkness. The darkness doesn't care who wins or loses. What they care about is that individuals keep fighting with one another. Whether it be in the USA, for example, Democrat or Republican, left or right, all they're interested in is delaying the ascension of Gaia and the collective consciousness, getting people to fight with one another. And you see how this filters through the media platforms, where we know there's a lot of deception, there's a lot of trickery. It's all a distraction. In essence, it's all a distraction. Okay? Although there is also at the same time, like I've said, the light in disguise, there's a lot of light, and there is light leadership, as I've shared in one of my previous videos where I spoke about Donald Trump, where a lot of people will disagree with me, and I understand, I respect that. Although there's a lot of light coming through, okay? And Donald Trump's a disruptor to shake it up. But in essence, from a higher perspective, it's still, if one wishes to, with free will, shift into 5D consciousness, be the representation of light and love, it is all a distraction. That is still the matrix, okay? Which doesn't make it bad. There is in essence no good and bad from a higher perspective. Okay, there is negative energy, so you could replace the bad with negative energy. There is negative energy which has served a purpose, but there is a lot happening within the matrix that no longer serves. So it's a delay, which is not the end of the world, but it's a delay. And there's definitely a push, a surge for light workers to be the examples. So like Julie said, is when we see negativity is not to engage in that, because when we engage in the negativity, we empower that, and that will continue to manifest. When the collective focuses on a single thing, that's what the distractions are all about. When a distraction comes up, all orchestrated through a major media outlet, it's for people to think about that thing. So when people think about that thing, it is energized, and that thing stays alive. If people didn't watch, didn't pay attention, don't give energy to it, that thing, that experience, that narrative can no longer exist. We are all shifting through multiple realities all the time. All the time. So that is a reality. It is a choice. We can live in that reality if we choose to, or we can unplug from it. So that's a very good point. Thanks for that question. Okay, Zakara's got a question about mental health issues for those that were happy and highly functional for most of their lives. So yes, this is something that can happen. Okay, so during the awakening and ascension process, because there is such a shift within our internal being, when we embody more light, there comes the contrast. Okay, and a lot of individuals actually have woken up a lot earlier than they thought they have. And the mirror, the contrast, the darkness has had an impact, an effect on them. They've seen the darkness in the world. A lot of it, yes, is shadow. A lot of it's a reflection. But in essence, this has taken a toll on them mentally, because going through an awakening is extremely psychological. When you go through an awakening, especially a trigger awakening, if you go through a Kundalini awakening or something like that, it is very psychological, because now everything that you once believed to be true is now shown to you as false. In a matter of days or a week or whatever it is, through that accelerated awakening. Tying into cognitive dissonance. So it's having your reality experience, your world completely turned upside down. Okay? And more often than not, individuals who are called or are deemed to be mentally ill are actually the sane ones. Okay? So we are living in a world that is insane. So they may have expressed themselves in a way to individuals who are unawakened. And now they are called crazy. That's why through awakening, when we enter spiritual communities, part of the process is that people will look at us and think that we're crazy, that we've lost our minds. Okay, so people who have been hospitalized are often going through their own awakening process, which is also a part of a divine plan, although it doesn't look like it. And it is up to them, and sometimes they're lucky, they have the support system where they have the realization that they are not crazy, they are not insane, they are not mentally ill, they are just living and have been living in a very sick world. There is a lot of sickness out there, which is now being brought into the public awareness. Okay, so now these individuals have tapped into this energy. And often individuals with mental illnesses, okay, are very psychic. Individuals who have been hospitalized, put in mental institutions, been called crazy, are the very individuals who woke up earlier than other people and who are psychics. So they are tapping into multiple dimensions simultaneously. And that's why it's a process through awakening. The universe gives us what we can handle. If you, through a trigger awakening, it does happen, but it's given to us because we can handle it. All right. All of a sudden now you're seeing visualizations, you clear audience, you're hearing messages come through, you tapping into other dimensional planes of existence, you're seeing other beings. One will go crazy through this experience. Okay, that's what happens to people who are labeled mentally ill. All that mentally ill people who are deemed mentally ill, okay, are required to do, there is often genius within this dynamic. There is genius, there is connection. To come back to balance within the self, so the individual who's deemed mentally ill, and with the support, that's why you see how these messages overlap. It's important for individuals to stand up and to express themselves, because there are people who may be in mental institutions, mentally ill, who require your assistance. Okay, that's why there's a great need. All that is required, okay, is obviously through the adversity within that psychological game, the individual is going to awaken. On the other side of mental illness is enlightenment. That's the gift. On the other side of any form of horrific, deep, what is deemed horrific trauma is enlightenment. Is the Christ body. That's the gift. Everything is a gift. And often what is required is another individual expressing themselves and the individual who's deemed mentally ill to align with that frequency, because everything is just a frequency. With the frequency, with energy expressed, a person who's mentally ill can align with that, and there is realization in that moment, and they can undergo healing on a miraculous level. What was insane will find alignment, and with this, sanity. So there will be a lot of assistance moving forward for these individuals. Okay, although there is a huge gift in it, no matter what it looks like. Compassion, frequency. Once again, the divine masculine. Assisting, protecting these individuals. So if it's a family member, if you're listening to this, or a friend, or someone you don't know, compassion, kindness, and offer the frequency, the vibration for them to align with. And through this, without saying a word, there will be clarity, there will be alignment, there will be sanity. Okay. Let's go and thank you for that question, Cara. Okay, what other questions? Hello, any other question, guys? Okay, I see that one. Okay, that's a good question, Hans. So you're saying that a part of the awakening journey, the journey to enlightenment, to the awakening, ascension, and consciousness, it can be very, very lonely at times. So this is a crucial part of the journey to enlightenment, awakening, is the loneliness. Okay, it is an opportunity. We can see many individuals now with the coronavirus found themselves in solitude, and during this time would have been lonely, the light in disguise. Solitude and the aspect of loneliness is crucial in this process. It's an opportunity to get to know the self. It's an opportunity to remove the self from all distractions from the self. During this process of feeling very lonely, because it can be, because not many people relate to you. Okay, so you may have family members or other individuals or in your workspace when you're operating in the 3D world who are going to understand you and is lonely. The loneliness is an opportunity to never feel alone ever again. In the loneliness, we connect with the self, we talk to the self. A conversation with our guides and higher selves is like speaking to ourselves. That's why, let's go back to the previous question. When someone talks to themselves, we say, are you crazy? Are you talking to yourself? They are talking, having a conversation with their higher selves and guides. That is what the conversation is. And through solitude, in loneliness, we are forced to connect through the heart space with ourselves and have these conversations with ourselves. And in this process, communication, information, and the presence of our guides and beings of light come through. And through this process, I've been in solitude for pretty much 2 years now. Okay, complete solitude for over 1.5 years. Pretty much. I see family members, but I don't see anyone else. Okay, maybe once a year ago I saw someone for a coffee, and then 6 months later or something like that. Okay, an old friend of mine, but I'm in solitude. And I love it. You begin to fall in love with the solitude, with the alone time, and the loneliness subsides. It still crops up now and again, but it subsides, because when you tap into this guidance, the conversation with your guides and beings of light, you're working on the self, you're going through the activations, you're acclimating, you're ascending in consciousness. You have never felt less alone in your life. Then from this moment in time, everything is a choice. You don't feel the need to see someone if you don't feel like it, to fill that void. Because our guides, our higher self, the beings of light are with us, in communication with us all the time. You are never alone, and you actually experience this. So you see them all the time, you feel them all the time, there is clarity, there is awareness, there is information. And it's also an indication, when this happens to you, that during this period, it is time to take that leap of faith in alignment with what you would love to do, your creative expression. So it's a building phase, building, strengthening the connection, opening the channels of communication with your guides, the beings of light, who in this moment in time, through the loneliness and solitude, will assist you with building that project or whatever it is, writing that book, building your website, starting your YouTube channel. It is a paradox, but there is truth in this. And through this powerful process, when you, in essence, hardly ever, never feel alone, everything externally is a choice and a bonus. There is no need to do something just because I am lonely to complete me. You are complete, you are whole as you are. It's only been the illusion that you are not. And from this space, you enter a reality experience where you are operating from an extremely high vibration. And from this point, you only attract to you a like match to this vibration. So the opportunities that come through will be a like match. And those interactions are better than ever you could have ever expected. And now you have a whole lot to talk about. If you think of it, the year, 2 years, 3 years of loneliness, whatever it is, how much information you've gathered for yourself about yourself and that reflection, how much you know that can then be shared with others. So we are never alone. That is an illusion. But yes, it is challenging. There are very challenging stages during the awakening process. Very difficult, challenging purge stages, physically, emotionally, mentally. Feel like we're going crazy. These happen in stages, but it's a part of dismantling, releasing that old programming. The process of unplugging from the matrix. Entering 5D consciousness, 5D earth, where instant manifestation takes place. And in this space, this consciousness, you've never felt more company in your life. Okay. All right, let's see what other questions we have here. If there are any other questions, guys, here's another question. And you can also make a statement if you like. It'll take the form of a question. Something that you may have experienced this week that's on your mind, that just tying into the last question, that you would love to tell someone, but you felt lonely because there's no one to talk to about it. Here's a platform if you feel like it, if it feels right to you. With everything in life, it's all about feeling, intuition, navigating it that way. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Evelyn, excuse me if I pronounce your name incorrectly. Is there any way to make ascension physical symptoms easier? Yes, there are definitely many ways in order to do this. Okay, so the ascension symptoms, I'll run through a few of them. Okay, in case you're wondering, am I going crazy because this is manifesting physically, or I'm going through this emotionally or mentally, and why is this happening? So the ascension symptoms are as follows. These are just a few of them. Okay, so there are contracted and expansive ascension symptoms. and one will follow the other. And this is due to the process of undergoing the DNA activations, embodying more light, opening up our chakra energy centers, okay, releasing the programming, releasing the density from the physical vessel that has resided within our chakra energy centers due to past pain and traumas and all of these things. So it's an energy that has resided there, and there is so much assistance from the light flooding the earth plane, from our guides, our higher self, the galactics, the light beings right now. There is so much energy right now, okay? And often this will manifest as chaos, okay? So we're seeing this with the collective unconscious, the collective shadow aspect at the moment. What has been hidden is now coming into our conscious awareness. So the information can no longer hide. That's why the information is coming through, because the energy is being released. Okay, there's a transmutation, and through this process, it's coming into our awareness. So a lot of ascension symptoms. Okay, contracted states of being may be as follows that you may experience. Headaches, all the way to migraines. Okay, the headaches, migraines is an indication, okay, that your third eye is opening, that your crown is opening. If you get really intense migraines, like if you've been through a Kundalini awakening, when that energy moves through your crown chakra and your third eye, I don't ever get headaches, okay? Now and again, a slight one when there's a big wave of light that comes in. But during my Kundalini awakening, I had migraines for days, intense migraines, and I never get headaches. Okay, so headaches, migraines, it means that the activation, you're opening up, any blockages within the physical vessels being released. Nausea, vomiting, loud ringing in the ears. This is an indication of light that is coming in, that you are tapping into the high frequencies of light flooding the earth plane. Also an indication that you're tapping into other dimensional planes, and those are your guides trying to get your attention. Physical aches and pains. You'll just have intense and mild pains at strange places in your body. So by scanning where you're feeling the pain, that is an indication that, which is a great indication that a transmutation is taking place in energy. So if you're having lower back pain, there's an energy there that's being released, okay? Or it might be pain in the heart space. Another ascension symptom is heart palpitations. Your heart, you feel like you're having a heart attack. Okay, this is energy moving in your body. Okay, you may also receive, which is pretty common, not serious, it subsides, which are body sores. So you might have some scars in your body, temporary scabs and sores in your body, because it's an indication, I'll use the analogy of shedding old skin. So you are shifting, your body is taking on more light, which will manifest as sores on the body sometimes. Okay, another ascension symptom is, like we spoke about, you'll feel wired. Okay, this is also during the period in time when we're receiving downloads, okay, through our higher self and guides, when we are downloading information. So there's a lot of energy coming in through our crown chakra, and we can feel wired, like we're high on drugs, like we're on psychedelics, okay, because there's a rewiring taking place. And this is when we have those moments of intense visions that come through, the headaches, and we feel off planet, and with this vertigo. So vertigo, it feels like you're off planet, that this reality experience doesn't make sense, a lot of confusion, okay? The vertigo, confusion. The vertigo, it'll feel like there's a massive earthquake taking place, although as an empath, you can tap in to the energy of Gaia, and you can actually feel before earthquakes come or while they're happening. But then with this, okay, sensitivity as well, sometimes it can be a shake-up internally that manifests as the sensation of vertigo. So that there's an earthquake taking place, but there really isn't, okay? Also, a loss of appetite is an ascension symptom. Insomnia, it can be days, it can be weeks where you just cannot sleep at all. You feel wired and you can't sleep. Also exhaustion, where out of nowhere they're just bouts of extreme exhaustion, where you feel extremely tired out of nowhere. Those are pretty much some of the basic ascension symptoms. There are more. Okay, blurred vision is another one of them. Let me see what other ones. I said the nausea, vomiting. Okay, which is a great when if you are vomiting and these kind of things, it's really good. Even though it doesn't feel pleasant, they're very uncomfortable, these contracted states of being. It's a great way to release the energy, that density from the body. So to get it out is good during this process. And after these contracted states of being, usually the integration process through any activation is a couple of days, can be a week, depends on the biological makeup of the individual. You get to experience the expansive states of being, so the euphoria, the peace, the feeling of oneness, the connection with your guides, the beings of light, feeling of love, open heart, beautiful energy moving through the body, where in that euphoric state, you'll just feel like, wow, the energy is amazing today. It's because you've shifted and you've moved some density. So now what is removed? The universal vacuum is replaced with something new. When we remove something that no longer serves, it is replaced with something that is in alignment and of service. So this is all to do with energy, which manifests externally. Can be through Lion's Gate as well. We've been through a powerful period where individuals will find themselves shifting out of jobs, shifting out of perhaps experiences into new experiences. Okay, also the shake-ups in relationships. So friendships from the past may fall away and new friendships may come in. People from the past may come back. There's a shake-up, all to do with energy. So the contracted expansive state, the purge, the release of density. We get to experience the expansive state of being, where beautiful energy, we shift into the reality experience where we are in tune and alignment with this beautiful energy. And as we do this, there's a process. It's a bit at a time, what we can handle, okay? We are given on a universal level what we can handle. So if it seems really extreme at times, know that you can handle it. You're not given something you can't handle, no matter how contracted and uncomfortable it is during that period in time, you can handle it, okay? And it's for short periods, a few days to a week, then the expansive state. Then you're like, wow, that was worth it. This feels incredible. It's an enlightened state, something that you haven't felt before, and it gets better and better and better. Contracted states are few and farther between. So these are the ascension symptoms, okay? I just wanted to highlight that. I will cover your question of how do we make it easier? Okay, whatever modality works for you. I'll give you some of the core ones, which are obvious, which you all know about, but sometimes repetition is necessary because we forget to meditate in these kind of things, or we think it's not going to work. But every single time that I meditate, I'm grateful for it and I'm thankful for it. Meditation. So during especially the uncomfortable contracted states of being, meditation is key. A lot of what is happening that is manifesting externally is an illusion. And when we meditate, we connect with the breath. Okay, we acclimate, we raise our vibration, we connect with our guides. And through meditation, it's also a form of setting a conscious intention to ask for assistance. So you are not alone. Your guides and the beings of light are there to assist you with the ascension symptoms. Ask for the help. Meditation, connecting with the breath, you'll soon find yourself finding balance within. Okay, and then what was really uncomfortable will be less comfortable in that moment. What is often asked, okay, which might sound paradoxical in nature, okay, is to feel it, to release it. Whatever the discomfort is, whatever the experience is, okay, to be with it, not try to run away from it or get away from it or say this is unpleasant. Just to feel it, to release it. Be with the energy, okay, without identifying or placing a definition on the energy itself, the experience, to the best of your ability. Feel it to release it, okay? So not to say this is horrific, I can't stand this, I need to get out of this. To the best of your ability, just say, okay, I'm depressed. Okay, I'm very angry. Okay, I'm very irritable, which are ascension symptoms as well. Just to be okay with it, knowing that always with anything that is deemed to be negative, uncomfortable, is temporary. It's going to pass. And the sooner we are okay and sit in that energy, we allow in that moment, without any judgment or placing a definition on it, okay? In this process, we do not add resistance to that energy, to that thing, and there the energy will move. And we get better and better at this moving along. Sometimes it's not easy, it's very uncomfortable. And if you are irritable and angry, which is very key, not to get angry at the self, not to get irritated at the self for being angry. Just be. That is the quickest way to move any density from the physical vessel. And meditation. So go into meditation with this and practice this. Also, very powerful if you can connect with nature. All of this is obvious, but we need reminders. Some people may not be doing this, and they may do this moving forward. Connect with nature. Take off your shoes. If you can't get into nature, into the park or the forest, wherever you are, just the grass, the lawn. Connect with Gaia. Take your shoes off. Connect with the earth. And by setting a conscious intention, by using your imagination and through the heart space, imagine yourself connecting with Gaia, the earth, as she is alive, with the core of the earth. And in this process, knowing, you can imagine a beam of light, if you'd like to, from the heavens, coming all the way down, through the crown of your head, through the heart space, down through the bottom of your feet, making its way all the way down to the core of the earth. Where the core of the earth is consciousness, okay? The earth's heartbeat is alive. You're setting an intention to connect with the light, through the light, with the earth. Then imagine the beam of light bouncing back up all the way through the bottom of your feet, through the crown of your head. Knowing that in this moment you are connected with Gaia, you are one with the earth and Gaia, and you are connected with the grids of Gaia, the 5D grid, and the inner planes, all interconnected. The crystalline grid, the 60 diamond grid, the inner planes. Gaia, she is a healer within herself. If you've read up on the Schumann resonances, okay, there are articles out there, and it's very well known that Gaia emits a natural healing frequency of the 7.83 hertz. The earth is healing. That's why it's healing when we go into nature, when we connect with nature. There is a natural healing frequency. So set the conscious intention, connect with Gaia with your shoes off. And in that process, without doing anything, you're aligning with that frequency. As I said earlier, with helping, assisting another individual, all it is a frequency they align with. The same principle applies with individuals who wish to connect with Gaia and receive that healing. And there's also wisdom, there's information flowing through the grids, flowing through Gaia. That's another way. Drinking plenty of water. When there are high influxes of plasma light flooding the earth plane, okay, there's a lot of light being taken on for embodiment in the physical form. We can get very dehydrated. So by drinking a lot of water will also assist with the moving of the energy. So the transmutation of the density, and the light will assist with this. So drinking a lot of water, eating high vibrational foods where you can. If you're not, that's also okay. All right, so I'm not vegan, I'm vegetarian. Okay, but I still have a coffee and that, which is fine. That's what I've chosen. I'm sure very soon in the near future I'll move off the coffee. Okay. banana is very powerful as well. So having a banana, high vibrational food, fruits, all these kinds of things. Bananas also, all right, will assist with an energy boost during these periods, and also very powerfully will assist with releasing DMT, dimethyltryptamine, within the body. Okay, DMT, dimethyltryptamine. Okay, if you've ever done any research about ayahuasca and psychedelics, the sacred medicines, the plant medicines, okay, the ayahuasca and these medicines, the psilocybin mushroom, all of the psychedelics release DMT, which is stored naturally within our physical vessel, although it releases it. And this stimulates the pineal gland, the third eye, and you're able in this process to open up the channels of communication, to experience these other dimensional planes of existence, whether it be just through feeling, but bananas are very good to strengthen that connection, to open the third eye, to gain clarity in that moment if there is any density or any distortions going on. Raise your vibration. So bananas, any high vibrational foodstuffs. Water, meditation, alone time, solitude, like we discussed earlier. So through that meditation, make sure that you have your own alone time. So being in the workspace, being very busy, all right, you're also bumping up against other individuals' energy fields. Okay, so the individuals will be empathic listening to this, highly sensitive. When you do this, you're actually tapping into their fields at times. So you may be feeling what they are feeling, okay? And you may be taking on some of their stress, their density, and mistaking it for your own. So always, what is mine? What is the other individual's? It's mastering the process of being able to identify what is mine and what is the other individual's. But either way, if you are in these environments, to when you get home from work, to go into meditation, to have your alone time, your place of peace is crucial, even if it's only for 5 minutes. You can do this in the morning before you go to work, or when you get home, or before and after. When I used to work in the corporate world, during my awakening process, I would do it during the day. I would take a walk outside during my lunch break and go and do it because I felt the need to. Okay, I was very, very sensitive during that period in time, and I was picking up on a lot that was going on around me. So even during work, I used to go outside and do it. So just 5 minutes, connect with the breath, even if it's not meditation. Solitude, a little bit of alone time will assist with this process. So that's the toolkit. That's it. All right. Also setting a conscious intention for the help to come through, and your guides will come through to assist you with the difficult periods of the ascension symptoms. And also by doing this, your guides will assist with co-creation and bringing through individuals who can assist you in your daily life or through YouTube like this, social media platforms. The information will find you by setting a conscious intention. Assistance, help will be on the way. Ask for it. You are not alone. You are never alone. Okay. Let's see. We got a few more. Let's see what else. If I don't get to all your questions, okay, I will be doing more of these, plenty of these moving forward. So I'll incorporate it into my next video if I don't get to it. I know last week I didn't get to a few. Okay, but connecting with nature will delay the pole shift. Shouldn't we just accelerate this chaos and go out of here? Okay, the pole shift. Okay, so no, connecting with nature will not delay anything. It will actually accelerate the ascension of the collective for the individual and everyone else. Our reality experience, the mirror of which is all orchestrated in a way and mirrored back to us from our internal state of being. In essence, we are shifting through multiple reality experiences all the time. So it's up to the individual. So as the individual goes, so the collective goes. This can be complicated, but this is the case. So it may seem like the external, is delaying, but in fact, it is only an invitation to connect with that externally, which is the delay, the consensus accepting in what is happening externally. An individual can exist in 5D consciousness, in 5D earth now, because that reality experience already exists. All reality experiences exist simultaneously. So by doing the inner work, like we've discussed, in essence, what is happening is you are shifting into that reality experience of 5D consciousness and 5D earth, where you will be interacting with others who have made the same choice. Okay, there are multiple realities and versions of us. So what you are doing is you are making the change within yourself, and the change will be reflected externally. So if you're interacting with a family member, if you're interacting with someone else, there is a belief that, well, it doesn't matter what I do because that person's still going to be there and I need them to come with me. No, what is happening is you are shifting into a reality experience where you are interacting with a different version of them who's already shifted. So nothing externally can delay the ascension of Gaia, of the collective consciousness, only if individuals give energy to that thing. As far as the pole shift is concerned, this is something that is taking place. Although this is part of the ascension of Gaia and Earth, some people say this is a negative thing and the grids are going to fall apart. It does not happen. That does not happen. That is a fear-based narrative that is traveling through some sites. Once again, that is another ascension delay tactic, a fear-based narrative for individuals to buy into. So the pole shift will not have a negative effect. All right, that is in essence another distraction. So it all begins with us. We shift into the experience where we are interacting with the versions of others who have made the change within themselves already. We know that time is an illusion, it's a construct. The beings of light, our guides and higher self, do not operate within time like human beings do. That's why they can see all reality experiences playing out simultaneously. They can see all versions of us. And that is where the guidance come in, because they are guiding us through the shift of these versions of us into 5D consciousness, 5D earth, which already exists. So I hope that answers that question. For me it's been shoulder blades and crying non-stop. Shoulder blades, Also, is it the right side or the left side? Is it both shoulder blades? There's a reason why I ask that question. Thank you. Two more. I'll just, if she comes back with the right or left side. So when you scan your energy, if you're feeling pain in the shoulder blades, often the upper back is other people's stuff, so when we're worrying about experiences that we've had, the interactions with other individuals will manifest as pain on the neck, the shoulders, shoulder blades. The upper back is other people, the experience from the interactions from others, where we are carrying something from that experience or carrying the burden on our shoulders. It's funny that it works out that way, but it is. Carrying that burden from that experience will manifest as resistance on the upper back. If it is the left side, I'm not sure if this is mirrored, but this is my left side. If it's on the left side of your body, okay, that is to do with the feminine, okay? So if there's pain on the left side of the body, it is connected to the feminine energy. So it can be pain or trauma from an interaction with the feminine individual, from that experience, which will manifest as pain on the left side of the body. If it is the right side of the body, all the way up from here, okay, that is masculine. So when you scan your energy, whether it be lower back or legs or wherever it is, check whether it's the right or left side of the body. That way you'll be able to identify whether the association with the energy is masculine or feminine. That may help you, because you may understand a little bit about a trauma that happened, okay, or you don't know exactly, there may be a few, which one, what is this associated to? Then you go, aha, that's masculine, okay? Then you can dive into perhaps the individual associated to this, the experience associated to this. Okay. All right. And also what I use, okay, always, like I suggested with connecting with Gaia and the light, use the light visualizations, the beings of light, our guides, okay? Whoever you connect to will often use light spectrums. Not always, isn't always necessary, but the light spectrums they work with, and through the imagination, it will come into your vision, which color works for you, because they work through this frequency, they work through that light spectrum. Some colors I'll suggest. So you imagine your entire being immersed in this color with your imagination and meditation. From your heart space, we'll use gold. Gold's a very powerful color now that's come through, connected to the Ascended Masters, the Christ consciousness, the gold. You can use gold or golden white, light. Imagine it glowing in your heart space as consciousness, golden light. Then expand it to cover, encompass, immerse your entire physical form. You are completely immersed in that moment in meditation, in peace with the golden light. Then expand that essence to cover, encompass a few yards, a few meters, either side, up and down, all around your physical vessel. Thus, you are purifying your auric field in that moment. Then expand it to cover the room, your house, the continent, the entire planet, whatever you feel necessary. Although what I've been shown is just your auric field's fine, or the room that you're in. It's going to be of great assistance. The imagination is extremely powerful. That's also another method, a way of setting a conscious intention for assistance to come through. Use the light spectrums. Okay? Here are some examples of light spectrums you can use. If you wish to, if you're experiencing very uncomfortable physical ascension symptoms, okay, physical, emotional, mental, you can use the blue flame. Is extremely powerful, okay? The blue flame connected to Archangel Michael, okay? So if you think of Archangel Michael, that protection energy, that clearing energy, very powerful. Imagine the blue light. The violet flame, that violet color, a lot of beings of light work with the violet color light spectrum, okay? Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, works with the violet light. You can use that. White light is the highest frequency that you can use, all right? But it may not always be the best one for that scenario. That's why allow the visualization to come through, because your guides know which color will work for you given in that given scenario. The white light, also extremely powerful. So blue, violet, white, and gold are pretty standard ones that will work. See what comes through and what works for you each moment. In a given moment, you can clear and release any negativity whatsoever from your physical vessel, emotionally, mentally, from your entire reality experience. If what's coming up for you are old, outworn soul agreements, you can also use any of these light spectrums, okay? What's coming through the violet light spectrum is very powerful in doing this. What you can say in the form of an affirmation is that I clear and release all agreements to anyone, to anything that no longer serves, across all dimensional planes of existence, across all reality experiences in this now, and so it is. So that's a nice affirmation for you. You can send the light out universally. If there are any outworn soul agreements that you feel are there, that are bothering you, that are no longer in service, use the affirmation of across all dimensional planes of existence, all reality experiences. Okay, but otherwise it's very, very simple. As humans, we often overcomplicate it. Just use the light available, heart space, immerse your field, the room that you're in. That is it. In 1 minute, you'll completely shift and you'll feel 100 times better. Okay. Let me just see. We've gone 1 hour and 20 nearly, so I might end it here, or there might be one more. I'll do one more. If I have not got to your question, okay, I'll have a look, and then I'll bring it through in the next live that I do. A lot of crying is good, so crying, a great way to release the energy. Laughter, crying, vomiting, screaming, shouting, whatever, that you're releasing energy in that moment. So if you're going through those symptoms, it's great. Cry, get it out, release the energy out, allow it to flow. Okay. I think that's it for today, guys. I'm not seeing, I've got to go back and check. Yeah, that's it for today. I'm not seeing any more questions right now. I'm sure I've missed a few here. So I will come back to you. So that's the message for today. That's the energy update. Thank you very much, everyone who's joined in and asked the questions. I hope that there's been some clarity within this transmission that is of assistance moving forward. And then I will be doing another live very, very soon. Again, there will be lots of these. So from now, if you're going to join in again, if you'd like to think of any questions during the course of the week, set the intention. And if you don't get it directly, all right, bring it through here. Any questions are welcome. Any questions you have, okay, I'd love to answer to the best of my ability. And that is it. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a fantastic week moving forward. And goodbye for now.